It is the 3rd of October 2016, right around 3 p.m. Japan Standard Time, and I know those of you watching this update during the afternoon here from Okinawa are very curious exactly where the storm system is going to be going and when are conditions going to be going downhill pretty fast here later on today. Well, one big thing I do want to know is looking more and more like the eye wall of this storm system is going to be staying just west of Okinawa Honto, including Naha, located here in southwestern Okinawa. That still does not mean you're going to be missing out on the bulk of the winds. We're definitely going to be seeing at least tropical storm strength and potentially typhoon strength winds. But the good news, see this inner core right here, that inner line? Well, that is the inner eye wall. And when we're talking about the max winds of the typhoon, and at this time, the Japan Meteorological Agency is about 100 gusting to 150 knots. That is enough to toss even cars around. We're talking about that inner eye wall. Now, some of those outer rain bands are still going to be dangerous today, but I think that the inner part of this storm is going to stay just far enough offshore. And this is something we've been saying all day. This storm overall is not that big. From the right eye wall to some of the outer rain bands, it's only about 50 kilometers or about 31 miles. So that's why we're talking about with this storm specifically, even a little bit of a waver or a wobble in the track makes a huge difference. If this was to wobble back towards the east about 50 kilometers, the Naha would definitely take the bright front of the storm, and you probably could get some of the eye as well. But with this northwesterly track we have been seeing through the morning hours, pending any drastic deviation in the forecast here, this should just stay far enough offshore to reduce some of these damaging winds. Not saying for people to let their guard down by any means, but I am saying that don't be surprised if you get through this one and you think that was it. Well, it does look like the worst of it's probably going to stay offshore. Now, with all of that said, this is still going to bring winds high enough, possibly gusts up to about 65, 70 knots in Okinawa, that could cause some damage out here. We're talking about basically down trees, down power lines, anything like that. Trampolines, we're always talking about trampolines, but lawn furniture, even clothes being hung outside on balconies, don't come hazardous and really toss things around. But it does look like, at least for the military, they have been issued T-Core 1C, basically telling everybody to stay indoors throughout the evening hours. It does look like this storm is going to pass basically due west of Naha around midnight as well. And that's good and bad news. Bad news, it is at nighttime, so if you are not smart enough to remain indoors, you're outside, you can't see when stuff's coming, especially things like tornadoes, the fast-moving rain-shrouded types. But the good news, most people should be indoors. No one's going to be trying to go to work or shopping or anything like that. So hopefully everybody stays indoors, hunkered down through the overnight hours. Because the good news with the small of the system, if wind conditions do go downhill later on today, it is going to go downhill very fast. But it improves rapidly heading into Tuesday. By Tuesday night, actually have some dry, cool air filtering in. It's going to be a beautiful day in Okinawa on Wednesday. Absolutely beautiful. Beach day. Perfect weather. So enjoy that. But for now, it is going to be a rough one out there as this storm does blow by. Eventually pulling back here towards the north, Fukuoka, Nagasaki, maybe in Busan is going to be impacted by this as it does move off towards the north and northeast. Eventually bringing some heavy rains across much of central Japan. That's including Iwakuni, actually located right in here in Sasebo, back towards west for those military members watching from those areas as well. You're probably going to be seeing at least tropical storm conditions as our storm does move by. But for now, that's going to be the update for this storm into Okinawa. This is the closest one has gotten to that island. So I'm happy everybody is taking this serious, and it's even been intensifying earlier this morning. Got some more westerly track, but the strength itself is really blowing up here, and you're still on the right side of the storm. That's the bad side. So hey guys out here in Okinawa, stay safe. I'm gonna have another video update later on tonight once the storm gets very close to the island. We'll see about that last minute change in the forecast. Maybe it might wobble back towards the east. Let's hope not. All right, guys, stay safe out there.